And today I'll be sharing with you just 4 simple topics. Okay, the types of electromagnetic radiation. Number 2, it's how emGuarde works. Okay, and mastering the demo tool. I'm going to emphasize on one of the demo tools that we're using. And of course, I'll be sharing you with the latest updates on the laboratory testing on the efficacy of the emGuarde product. All right, now let's go to the first topic today. Now, there are many types of radiation sources in the world. And today, if let's say when we go out there and do the demonstration and we tell the market that emGuarde is able to eliminate or cancel out all types of radiation, now this is an incorrect statement. Okay, so today I'm going to train you and teach you on what is the correct word to use during your demonstration. Now let's take a look at the electromagnetic spectrum chart. All right, I want you to imagine that this is like the Kangen water demonstration. It's pretty simple. It's only acidic or alkaline, just two. You just have to understand it's just acidic or alkaline. And for radiation, it's simple as well. It's only 2 types of radiation, okay, that can be categorized. Now, one is ionizing radiation. On the right-hand side, you can see the red arrows, okay? And on the other hand, it's the non-ionizing radiation, okay? Now, today we'll be focusing on the blue arrows, which is the non-ionizing radiation, because the ionizing radiation is far above the emGuarde's capability to suppress or even to deal with. All right, so today we're not talking about the ionizing. We are going to spotlight it to non-ionizing radiation, where emGuarde is able to address some of its issues here. Okay, now when it comes to the non-ionizing radiation spectrum, there is a huge frequency bandwidth. So emGuarde is basically dealing with a very specific range of frequencies. We call it targeted frequencies treatment. Okay, now I've been categorizing this radiation energy into 3 very simple energy for you to understand, and I'll be explaining to you what sort of energy it's emGuarde actually suppressing. Okay, now when it comes to the non-ionizing radiation spectrum, there are a few energies that you need to understand first. Now the first energy, which is the radiation energy, is usually coming from the power line, okay, the AC power line. So whenever you turn on the power, in your house, you're using the light bulb, you're using, your television. When there is electricity going through the cable, it generates the first radiation energy known as the electromagnetic field energy. Okay, but emGuarde is not addressing this energy. It is not affecting your electricity supply. Okay, so it's not addressing this. Now, the second energy that can be found in your living environment and offices, it's actually the signal transmission radiation energy. Okay, coming from the blue lines over here. All right, and this second energy, it's basically coming out from all the antenna generated devices. It's either from your radio, from a Wi-Fi router, or even from your cell phone. Because your cell phone consists of an antenna, and the antenna is transmitting data and signal from a day-to-day basis. Okay, so emGuarde is not built, it's not built to address this as well, because we are not affecting any telecommunication signals as well. Now, what emGuarde actually suppresses is actually the byproduct of the first 2 energy, coming from the power line and the signal transmission. Let me put you in a clearer picture. Okay, now from the first 2 energy, which is coming from the AC power and the signal transmission, these 2 energy, at the same time, it's able to produce a byproduct. All right, and the byproduct, it's actually come in the form of electromagnetic noise energy. It's coming from the first 2 energy, you see? So it's a byproduct, okay? And emGuarde is actually addressing energy number 3, which is the red one, the red color energy, okay? Now, to put you in the clearer perspective, I've designed a very simple house. Okay, this is a very simple house. And with animation, you got to understand how emGuarde actually works. So when you turn on your power supply, let's say you're using electricity in the house, it is going to generate the first energy in the house, which is the electromagnetic field energy coming from the electric field and the magnetic field. Okay, now when you turn on telecommunication devices like a router, it is going to generate the second energy in the house, okay, which is the signal transmission radiation energy. Okay, now when you have these 2 elements in the house, at the same time, they are going to generate their byproduct, and this byproduct is actually coming in the form of electromagnetic noise radiation energy in the red color. Okay, and emGuarde is actually built to suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation energy. So let's say now you're putting one emGuarde in the house, okay, as shown in the picture. When you activate the emGuarde, The emGuarde, it's able to suppress targeted electromagnetic noise energy within a 4-meter radius coverage range. All right. And with that, if you notice, when I turn on the emGuarde, the blue energy from the screen, it's still there. Okay, it's still in the environment. And of course, the first energy coming from the power line, it's still there as well, okay, from the gray line. Okay, so emGuarde is not affecting any telecommunication signals or even your energy coming from the power lines. Okay, all right. Now, topic number 2, how emGuarde works. So when you go and meet new people, okay, for example, your new prospects or new people, they will ask you, so how the technology actually works? It's pretty simple. Now, from a day-to-day basis, when we use all our electrical appliances, as long as your appliances is powering up by battery-operated device like this is battery powered, or your appliances is powered by electricity, it will generate a certain amount of high-frequency electromagnetic noise radiation. Okay? Now, with that, emGuarde is utilizing a patented harmonics frequencies. Okay, all these are programmed. Okay, in this microchips and micro P, everything is programmed. It's patented. So emGuarde is utilizing harmonic frequencies to effectively suppress. The word is targeted. Okay, the keyword targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 to 1000 megahertz. Okay, within a 4-meter radius. And this harmonizing method achieves a balanced atmosphere while preserving the natural ambient frequencies, meaning it is not going to affect any 4G, 5G signal or even your Wi-Fi coverage, okay? But it is at the same time suppressing the negative effects of the EM radiation that might affect you from a day-to-day basis. So this is actually one of the unique selling points of the emGuarde. It is able to address the negative impacts of radiation towards you as a user. At the same time, it is not affecting the functionality of your devices or even your telecommunication signals that you need to use from a day-to-day basis for your business and social work. All right? So this is actually one of the unique selling points of the emGuarde. Now, to put you into a clearer perspective of how emGuarde works, I've designed this particular video to show you in a more technical manner how emGuarde suppresses targeted electromagnetic noise radiation. Okay, let's watch the video before I explain further. Alright, so in this section of the video, I'm going to show you how emGuarde has the ability to alleviate the radiation from this LED light bulb 4 meters away from this antenna. Okay, so now, first of all, I'd like you to see the screen. From the software itself, everything is clear before I turn on the LED. Now, as soon as I turn on the LED, as you can see, you can actually see that the noise field from the EM radiation comes back and it's actually showing in this blue curvy line. Okay, so now I'm going to invite my team to take this emGuarde away from me for about 4 meters, okay, in radius. Okay, now I'm going to invite my team to power on the emGuarde. Just plug the USB-C, leave it on the table. Now, as soon as the emGuarde is on, as you can see, the frequency spectrum from the SDR software has been cleared away. Okay. Now, as soon as I unpower the emGuarde, please remove the power line from the emGuarde, just unplug. Wait for about 2 to 3 seconds. The radiation from the LED comes back immediately. Alright, so basically from this video itself, you can actually see that there is a big contrast on the app screen. Okay, the blue curvy line represents that there is noise energy registered when we turn on this white LED light bulb. And when the emGuarde is turned on, targetedly, it suppresses this kind of energy. And you can actually see from the phone screen itself, there is this huge blank black space, all right? So that's actually the result of targeted suppression. So with this video itself, you're able to confirm that emGuarde is actually working at least a 4 meter radius away from this particular SDR antenna. So this particular gadget is also used in Simon's video that we took in Hong Kong 9 months ago. Okay, and this is actually the same tool that the laboratory is using to do the suppression testing in one of the most prominent university in Malaysia as well. Later on, I'll be sharing you with the latest laboratory results that they are going to use the same tool to actually test the suppression percentages. Okay, now let's proceed. So here comes the third topic. I'm going to end soon because I only have 4 topics to share. And before I end today, I'll be sharing with you the QR code of the Telegram channel again, so that you can get in there and download all your resources needed for your marketing execution. Okay? Now, topic number 3, mastering the demo tools. So this is actually the demo tools that Energic is selling currently. And this tool was initially used by the factory to do QC testing. But because the harmonic frequency is invisible, you can't really see it or feel it. You need a tool to tell you whether emGuarde is working within the range itself. Okay? So this tool is sold in Energic. Let me just explain to you. It's very simple to use. And in the emGuarde demo, you need this tool as well to identify the electromagnetic noise radiation density. Okay? Now, when you use for emGuarde demo, please make sure that it is always turned into setting number 2. There's 2 dots on top of the detector. Now, the first dot, usually we are not using it for the demo because the first dot is what we use to detect the low frequency radiation coming from a power line. And emGuarde is not addressing this problem, okay? Because this radiation is very minor, it's very minute, and your skin can actually block it, so we're not addressing this problem. Instead, we're addressing the high frequency radiation coming from all the gadgets, which is the 2 dot setting, okay? So when you switch your detector from 1 dot to 2 dot setting, please make sure that the detector is off before you switch the mode, okay? And this is to prolong this process, you know? So when you push the detector to 2 dot, please make sure that the detector is off before you switch the mode between 1 and 2. All right, now let me re-emphasize. Now on 2 dot, there's 2 functions from the detector, okay? The first function is to detect high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 to 1000 megahertz. So when you put the detector very close, let me show you an example. Okay, let me pull out my detector here. All right. So basically, when you use the detector to do scanning, it has to be very close to your gadget. It's about 1 to 2 centimeters away. This is how the detector actually probes the reading from the source. Okay, it's about 1 to 2 centimeters away. All right. But sometimes when you do the demonstration, when you're scanning the air itself, just by scanning the air itself, you begin to pick up reading. Okay, it's because the density of the noise radiation within your living environment is so high. That's the reason why the detector begins to pick up reading when you scan the air itself, so it's normal. Okay, so this is actually the first function of the detector. It's directional. You're able to pick up the source by pointing the ring towards the source of the radiation. Okay, so you use this. Now, when it comes to the second function, it's very simple. When you turn on the emGuarde, the detector is going to turn into 0. There will be a 0 reading, okay? So that actually depicts the second function of the detector. Because the ROD will display 0 to indicate that it is receiving emGuarde's targeted suppression harmonics frequency. Okay, so when the detector receives the emGuarde's suppression frequency, which is targeted, it turns 0 to show you that we are actually within emGuarde's protective zone. All right, now I have to make myself very clear here because this 0, a lot of distributors, they might mislead the market by saying that, oh, when the detector turns 0, it represents that there is no radiation in the environment. Okay, and this is a false presentation. It's incorrect because the 0 here simply means that we are within emGuarde's protective zone. But the radiation from the telecommunication signal, you know, coming from the second energy, and the radiation coming from the power line, which is the first energy, they are still in the environment. Okay, and emGuarde is actually suppressing the byproduct of this energy, which is noise radiation. Okay, I hope I make myself clear in this explanation. So during your demonstration, please make sure that, you know, do not tell your customers that when the detector turns 0, means there is no radiation in the environment. Okay, so when you learn this technique, you'll be bulletproof, you know, when you do the emGuarde demo. All right. So now, these are some of the simple product user manual where you can read it during your free time, you know, on the storage, the temperature. I'm not going to go through it today. It's very simple. You can read it when you receive the slides after the demonstration today. Okay. So last but not least, I'm going to explain to you that this tool itself, there is one weakness of this tool. Because this tool, it's built with lots of copper coil. Okay, there's a lot of copper coil in this ring to help you to detect the high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation precisely. Okay, and because of the structure and design of this detector, it is also prone to static attack. So whenever you turn on the emGuarde, it's supposed to show you 0, but when you are in a static environment, the static will cause this detector to beep, and In this case, in technical terms, we call it force reading. Okay, that's the reason why Simon was, suggesting that during the emGuarde demo, you need to have two tools. Okay, two tools. The first tool is the RD to show you where the radiation comes from, and for the installation process, you can actually use the SDR software or the Barge SDR detector to do the installation, because these two software and detector will not be affected by static interference. Okay, so let's play this short video, and this short video is going to explain to you how static is going to affect the detector. And do not get panic, all right? When it beeps during emGuarde, it's on, it's due to static interference.
Hi guys, so in this video, we will be explaining how static affects sensitive equipment like the LD. So now, I'm going to use the LD to scan the phone, as you can see. So it's picking up radiation reading. But as soon as I turn on the emGuarde, as you can see, the white LED light is on. So the radiation is gone, okay? So I'm going to move all the way back just to show you that emGuarde can actually cover up to that range, okay? It's further away from the table. So what we are going to do next is we're going to turn on the static ball. And as soon as I turn on the static ball, I'm going to show you that, the static, it's able to trigger the RD to beep. Okay, so once I scan the phone and I go near to the static ball, the RD 9100 begins to beep again, although it is within the coverage range of the emGuarde.
Okay, so this short video is able to showcase to you, whenever the emGuarde is on and whenever there is a static environment, it will trigger the detector to beep, although it is within the emGuarde's coverage. Okay, so do not get panicked. This is due to static interference. So I get a quick search from Google, and this is what it says. Depending on the construction material and design characteristics of the radiation detector, the static electricity can also affect other components. Okay, and such events can lead to false readings as well. Okay, so do not get panic when you turn on the emGuarde and when the detector beeps here and there. Okay, it's due to static attack. All right. Now, last but not least, this is pretty interesting. Let me share with you the last slide of my training today, and it's laboratory testing. Okay, so the developer has actually put emGuarde into a series of different testing. Okay, and this is actually the latest report we got from the University Science of Malaysia, and they're actually testing the emGuarde based on the function and the efficacy of how emGuarde is able to suppress the electromagnetic noise radiation from 1 meter all the way up to 6 meter in radius. Okay, now for your information, Japanese company like emGuarde, they are being very conservative. They're going to tell the market that the emGuarde, it's only able to cover up to 4 meter radius. But the actual testing in the laboratory is up to 6 meter radius. Okay, this is for you to gain more confidence that your emGuarde can actually cover further than 4 meter. Okay, now let me show you a quick report, and this is actually the data gotten by the lab. And this whole testing is actually governed by Dr. Yam Manfai. As you can see, there is a seal there, Dr. Yam, and he's a 4 PhD holder in the university. Okay, so this is actually the collective results they got from the testing. I'm going to share with you quickly, and you can actually take a look at all this data when I send the slides to you later on. Okay, now in this test, they are doing in different environment. On the left, okay, of the table, you can see that there is all different environment from residential spaces to working offices and laboratory as well. I want you to stay focused on the first results, which is RS1, that represents residential space. Okay, now the percentage of suppression in percent. In 1 meter, okay, they registered that the suppression percentages was about 99.4%. That's the reason why when you do the scanning with the detector, it shows 0, because this detector is able to receive targeted suppression frequency as well to verify that emGuarde is working within 1 to 2 meters. Okay, so the suppression is averagely about 99 to about 98% from 1 meter all the way down to 6 meter. Okay, so this is actually the power of the emGuarde through the laboratory testing. And these are all the different data they collect from the sheet, and they are using the same SDR software to gauge and also to get the data from the test as well. Okay, you can take a look at all this data after I end the training today. It's all for you, the report. All right, they're testing this particularly on 71 to 73 megahertz, and this is actually the common operating frequency for the brain as well. So this data is pretty important, okay, for you to execute your demonstration. All right, so this is the picture collected from all the different environments that they do the testing in residential spaces, workspaces, and also laboratory as well in the university. Okay, now with that, all right, this is the conclusion of the test report. You can read it. All right, it says that the emGuarde electromagnetic noise radiation harmonizer successfully reduced unwanted electromagnetic noise wave between all these targeted frequencies. And in fact, emGuarde can work beyond these frequencies, all the way stretching out all the way to about 1000 megahertz. Okay, so again, I'm going to repeat all this QR code. Take this opportunity to take a screenshot, take a stamp picture, and we'll be uploading the slides, in the official emGuarde Telegram channel. And the second QR code is actually the official emGuarde website, where different languages is also available. Okay, there is more than 14 different languages, okay, available on the website. You can take a look. You can share the link of different languages to your prospects around the world. And the purpose of the emGuarde library is for you to download files with bigger size, okay, because we have included a lot of videos in the files as well. So we've got huge files where you can download through the Google link, and of course the YouTube emGuarde Global channel as well. You can find all the video resources from this link itself, okay? So with that, I would like to conclude my quick and short training, with this. And I hope to see you soon in Australia, because I think Eneduc Australia will be organizing a live event in Australia very soon. So please stay tuned, and I think the Australian office will be updating you about this live event very, very soon. Okay, with that, so emGuarde, again, your environment harmonizer. Change your environment, change your life. All right, so with that, I would like to conclude my training, and I would like to thank you for your attention by listening to me. Okay, back to you, Joanne and Chris. Thank you so much for having me today.